Ho ho ho. Just kidding. Welcome to the Shirtless Painter, where anyone can paint and anyone can paint anything. Today, in honor of this festive time of year, I'm going to be teaching you how to paint your very own Yule log. I invite you to take off your shirt and paint along with me. Excuse me. Let's jump right in. Okay, so as you can see, we have our sort of fireplace base here. I just sort of laid down a base coat of a nice wintry scene. So no fireplace is complete, at least in my opinion, without some flames. So let's go ahead and just get some of our Big Bird yellow here. And we'll just sort of start just adding in the flames. However you please, there's no wrong answers with flames. You can really express yourself when you're doing this. Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and mix some of our red here. And we'll just add a little bit of red to the flames. Sorry, Santa, but things are getting a little bit hot for you, my friend. Just kidding. I do have a little bit of beef with Santa, and he knows what he did, so don't need to get into that on the air, Santa. Still waiting for my apology, so. I know you're accustomed to receiving letters, but just an email or a text, you know, just say you're sorry, and all will be forgiven, so. Anyway. Great. Just have those flames sort of kissing and licking at the chimney there. Okay, great. So you may have noticed there's actually no chimney sort of going up and out of here. So these people, you know, the family who lives here should just be careful about, you know, cracking a window for smoke inhalation. Always be safe around the holidays, gang. This is a message from me, the Shirtless Painter. If you're gonna have a fireplace, definitely have a chimney. But in painting, you could do whatever you want. There are no rules, so maybe this is a smokeless fire. Okay, great. Okay, so we've got a nice fire base going there. And I think the next thing we need, any festive fireplace needs some stockings. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some stockings to the mix. Okay, so I'm gonna just go with some classic stocking red here. And a stocking is really just sort of a big sock. Sort of a big sock that no one in their right mind would ever wear, because they don't provide a lot of arch support, and, you know, I'd imagine they'd fall off your feet, but what do I know? Okay. So there's one little stocking there. And we'll go ahead and just add a little bit of our Welter white, just to add sort of the upper deck of the stocking there. This is sort of the lower deck, and this is the upper deck. This is one upper decker that I would be happy to find in my bathroom. Speaking of Santa, anytime you want to apologize, that's, you know, I'm here, so I will forgive you. And I do have a present for you that I'm willing to, you know, that I'm withholding at the moment. But I will, you know, I would love to give it to you, so give me a call. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and add our little loophole here. Okay, you've heard of a tax loophole. Well, this is a stocking loophole. So you've heard of stocks. Well, it's all sort of connected. All right, great. So there's one little stocking, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this stocking for one of my favorite people to spend the holidays with, my wife. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my wife's name there. Okay. So some of you may know my wife's name is Darden, so I'm gonna, but you know, you could put your wife's name in there, or your husband, or if you're not married, if you reject the institution, that's fine too. Put a name of your friend, your dog, your own name. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my wife's name, Darden. So we'll give it a nice little D. Okay. A. R. And just sound it out. D. Dard. E. Okay, so it looks like we ran out of room on the stocking, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and just put that final N, and we'll put it up on the shelf. There's a lot of empty space up on the shelf here. So we'll just add our little N there. So the next person I'm going to add a stocking for is my son. My son is missing, so if any of you have seen my son, please let me know. I suspect he might be missing inside the building because I do hear sort of pitter-patter, and I leave out food dishes, and most of it gets eaten. So I don't think he's far, but if you do see him, please, we'd love to have him back, especially around the holidays. Okay, and we'll go ahead and just add another little... Oop, careful there. Another little stocking. Size of a little boy's foot, or thereabouts. Okay, great. So we'll get a little bit more of our stocking upper deck color here. And speaking of, I might as well just come right out and say it. You may have noticed that I've mentioned Santa Claus a few times, and might as well come clean about it. I am a little bit mad at Santa Claus because last year he did leave an upper decker in my bathroom toilet. So he came in, he left presents, he ate the cookies, but I mean, what kind of man comes into your house and leaves an upper decker in the toilet tank on Christmas Eve? I don't know if he's done this to any of you. I love Santa Claus. He's been a hero of mine since I was a kid, but this is unacceptable. So Santa, if you're watching, and I know you're busy right now, you owe me and my family an apology, so. And honestly, a new toilet would be a great gift this year. So. Anyway, back to it. So we have our son's stocking here. Since he is missing, I'm gonna go ahead and just sort of let people know that there is a reward. So I'm gonna paint the word reward on there. Okay. Okay. So we ran out of space there too, but that's okay. There are no screw-ups, only pleasant whoopsies. So we'll just add the rest of the letters right up on the shelf with their friends. Okay. Okay, great. A. R. D. Great. Nard. Well, okay, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll add the little hook on our Stocking here, gotta secure it to the mantle. And I'm just gonna go ahead, just to let people know I mean business about finding my son, I'm gonna go ahead and stuff the stocking with money, and then anyone who has any information on his whereabouts can sort of come forward, no questions asked. Just bring him home, and you could take the money in the stocking. I don't care much for money. I think that's important to remember. All right, so I'm just sort of mixing up some dollar bill color, and we'll have sort of a variety of denominations here. Just add a little bit of that big bird yellow there. Okay, great. So we'll just go ahead and add some fat stacks of cash. Coming out of here. Money, money, money. So, again, in case anyone's seen my son, there is a little bit of a Christmas bonus in it for any information. And again, this is no questions asked. I just want to find my son. And we'll go ahead and add some of the little highlights on our cash here. Feel free to add any of your favorite presidents or people who you think should one day be president. It's up to you. There's no need to adhere to the rules of history books. Unless they're art history books. Even then, I think I encourage you to break those rules. Okay, a little bit of white. Great. Okay. You've heard of cash rules everything around me, but cash Yules everything around me? Sort of something to think about this holiday season. Okay, great. So we got my wife and my son's stocking, and what the heck? Why don't we just do one for me? I mean, I don't care that much about material things, but everyone deserves a stocking around the holidays. Okay, great. So we'll just go ahead and add one more sock here. Okay, great. Stocking white. Hook to secure it. Okay. And just so we don't run into any problems, we'll just abbreviate it with SP. Great. This could also be for the, the Smashing Pumpkins, or Someone Pretty, or Soul Plane, or some pancakes, whatever, whatever SPU speaks to you, or a different set of letters, but I'm really enjoying SP, so. Okay, so I'm just gonna fill this with a few small trinkets for myself. As you might, big surprise, I'm not interested in the latest big screen TV. The only thing I really need or want around the holidays is more painting supplies. So I'm gonna go ahead and, assuming I'm able to mend fences with Santa Claus this year, maybe he'll bring me a thing or two instead of instead of the thing he brought me last year, which stunk, by the way, Santa. I don't know what you're eating, but try some fresh vegetables instead of all the cookies and reindeer meat. I don't know. I assume maybe you eat the reindeer. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Would have never said that about you, but. That's kind of pretty too. Sort of nice, almost looks like a little holly leaf. So this could make a nice gift for someone. So I'll just set this over here. Okay, great. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some gifts for myself here. And the first thing I'm gonna do is, one thing I'm running low on right now is paint thinner. So I could use a new thing of paint thinner. So it comes in sort of a tin jug or jar. So we'll just have that kind of peeking out up here. And it could be any brand. You can make up your own brand. I'm gonna call this one David's paint thinner. So it's sort of a mom and pop paint thinner company. They're not beholden to, you know, big paint thinner, big thinner. You could even do it based on, you know, paint thinner based on the Stephen King film Thinner. I believe Steve King did that. Okay, great. Okay, so we got our paint thinner here. Just add the little cap up top. Great. And honestly, that's all I really need. Okay, great. All right, so it is getting a little chilly in here. I don't know if it's just me, which is entirely possible, but I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit. So I'm gonna just add a little bit more flame to our fireplace here. And you can just have fun with it. As much or as little as you want. Some nice green highlights in there, which I think is even hotter than when you see a blue flame. And we'll go ahead and add some blue to the flame here. Just really, people know we mean business. Okay, great. Okay, so it's starting to sort of extend beyond the borders of the fireplace here, but that's okay. You know what I like to say, there's no screw-ups, only pleasant whoopsies, so just kind of follow that. Just some nice flames. Uh-oh. Well, it looks like the flames are sort of licking and kissing at the my stocking here, which, you know, I'm not materialistic, so I don't really care too much, but uh-oh. Yep. There goes the paint thinner. Okay. That's okay. No screw-ups. Just go with it. Just go with it. Okay, so that may have caused sort of a small explosion. Causing some flames to kind of go over here. And to sort of, oh geez, start licking and kissing at my son's stocking here. Oh boy, well, there goes the money. Great. Okay, well, quick change of plans. If anyone has seen my son, please just return him out of the goodness of your heart, okay? I can't offer you any money, but, you know, I'd love to have you over for dinner, and, you know, for the holidays. Okay, great. Okay, well, there goes that. All right. Oh, boy. Well, there goes my wife's stocking as well. That's too bad. Okay, yeah, it's sort of really getting out of control here. Oh, oh boy. Yeah. Yep. All right, so some of it's kind of spilling out here. That's no good. All right, here, just a little more there. Okay, oh boy. What? Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Hang on a second. Excuse me. Let's jump right in.